We turn now back to the Mueller report and a controversy that's developed over one piece of the evidence cited in the report. According to footnote 112 of that report, a Russian businessman at one point texted then-candidate Donald Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, quote, stopped flow of tapes from Russia, but not sure if there's anything else. But the subject of the report has now come forward to say that Mr. Mueller got it wrong. We're joined now by Giorgi Rtskhiladze, and he is, in fact, the subject of it. So let me ask you, first of all, welcome. Second, are you in fact Russian?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, and I wish I was here for better reasons, obviously, and this is probably the first time somebody asked me that question on TV, and you were the first one. And it's pretty simple. No, I'm not Russian. I'm actually a U.S. citizen from 2017. I'm Georgian heritage. Again, there's nothing wrong to be Russian.
Right.
Absolutely. It's a great culture. I know many great people from Russia. I'm just not Russian, and that's just a fact.
And there's a difference between Georgians and Russian.
I think what we need to also understand, how little do we know about that part of the world. I think it's very important for us to understand and realize that that world is not Soviet Union anymore. It's not just Russia. It's many different countries that are thriving and they're emerging, and Georgia has been a success. And Georgia is one of the most democratic countries in that part of the world.
And beyond your nationality, there's another issue that you've taken with that footnote, because as we read it, it said, quote, stopped flow of tapes.
That's right.
You've provided actually the actual physical text, and the text message actually said, stop flow of some tapes.
That's right.
Which to you is an important distinction.
It is a very important distinction. As soon as you remove the word some, I think it's pretty clear that you know exactly what tapes you're talking about. The other thing, you're talking about the footnote, last thing anyone wants to be known as part of the footnote, and especially when that footnote is wrongfully talking about you. So
well, let's go back to what actually happened. As I understand it, you take us through, but you were at a party and somebody talked to you about this. Did you know, in fact, what was in the tapes?
Well, the fact is that I was not even at the party. I was at my house in Connecticut. I got a call, which sometimes you talk to your friends. The friend knew that we were in business with Trump organization at the time, and I was very concerned about the image of Trump brand in general, because we know the Access Hollywood tapes were coming out. There were a lot of tapes, a lot of conversations. So when a friend of mine told me that, listen, somebody was bragging about some tapes at the party, I immediately, or a little bit after, texted a friend of mine at the time and business associate, Mr. Cohen. And I said exactly what I said in my text message. There's the stop flow of tapes. There's nothing to the rumor of the tapes, some tapes overseas they're talking about. And we had an exchange, and that exchange pretty much explains what I meant by that.
Well, at some point there was this document, this dossier that was reported on that reportedly involved some tapes. Did you know about that at the time you sent that text?
Absolutely not. I was not aware of any of that.
So why did you think it was that important to go to Mr. Cohen with the information about the tapes?
It was important for me personally. It was important for Trump brand in the Republic of Georgia, because obviously when you have a license agreement and you are attached to a Trump brand, last thing you want is to have any kind of damage to the brand. And there was one thing that I realized that I had to do that in terms of concern about the brand. One, two, I knew that Michael Cohen was working for Trump organization, and maybe he should have known there are some rumors out there.
And after that, was there any follow-up, either with Mr. Cohen or with people in Russia, as far as you're concerned, with those tapes, about what was on them, whether they were being submitted, whether they were being sent over, anything about it?
Well, there are a couple of different things that are in the footnote, and I think it's very important that we address them. So the reason that I'm here is just to make it clear to everyone. It was shell-shocking to me to find out that I was a guy, I couldn't recognize myself, that I'm out there destroying tapes. And people that know me, they actually said, is this you? So that's where everything started. So I realized that, first of all, I had no knowledge of the tapes. I had no knowledge of the content of the tapes. And the most important part about all of that is that I had no knowledge of any dossier, which is unverified, by the way, as we now know. So clearly, my action has not been followed through in any way, shape, or form. This was one isolated incident, text messages back and forth. And by the way, I said to Michael Cohen, someone is bragging about the tapes. It's probably not a big deal. I'm sure there are so many stupid people in the world. And unfortunately, with a lot of great people in the world, we still have some stupid people. And he agreed to that, and we ended the conversation. We never followed up. And that's what I told the prosecutors. It was a very candid conversation.